Everybody for coming out to Main Street Merchant Growth Club 2011, year 2. We're going to talk about dashboards today, but before we do that, I just wanted to acknowledge a couple of things that this committee and this program has been able to do, which is providing good information to the downtown merchants, businesses, trying to add a little bit of value to what Main Street offers. And I'd like to also acknowledge that Dave Verbeten won the Main Street Volunteer of the Year Award. I know most of you are there. I think that's very awesome, though. And we also have an article in Patch. It was released May 12th. And I'll be sharing that at the end, too. If you go to patch.com, you search under articles under May 12th. It's a nice story just on how this program got started. So we're going to keep going and trying to engage more members in the community and just really add value to Main Street. So without further ado, Dave's going to talk about ways to measure the effectiveness of your business.
Super. Thanks, Casey. Thanks for having me again. Thanks for attending. I always want to acknowledge the fact that you've just risen yourself to a very elite group, right? Less than 10% of all managers, business owners, and executives actually go out and seek education to help them run their businesses, and you've done that. So congratulations, you're an elite group. Ever thought you'd be in the top 10? All right, here we go. All right, so now reach deep down, because it's really tough to make a discussion about measurement really exciting. Like when we did change the mindset, right? That was a little bit better. Streetwise marketing is fun because it's the sexy sales and marketing stuff, right? Social media, right? Always gets, right, a lot of headlights on the road. KPIs, give me a break. Key performance indicators. How do we make that fun? But here's the question for you. In your homes, how many of you actually enjoy balancing your checkbook? I mean, you can't wait to get to it.
Oh man, I love it.
You love it? You're a hell of a lot better off than I am.
I'm just kidding you.
Right? No, I know. But is it necessary? Yeah, because we need to know where we are. And the simplest example of measurement, and I'll use the phrase dashboard, right, is your car. I mean, what do you do when the little light goes off? Be honest. We try to rationalize it away first, don't we? Must be something electrical wrong with my car. And then eventually we'll call. Because I had the tire pressure light go on in my Honda Accord, well, when it was really cold. And I said, no, it's the 20 degrees below weather stuff. That's what that is. And I kept looking at that tire, and it kind of kept going like this and this. Finally, I called. I went there, and they said, no, it's the weather. Well, so anyway, what we end up doing around measurements, even if we have them in place, is all too often we tend to try to rationalize them away, much less actually develop them. Well, it's really important, it's really necessary to have some measurements in your business, right? You think so? All right, so we're going to go through some fundamentals today, ask you a lot of questions about what you might be measuring in your business today, what you think you should be measuring in your business today, and hopefully when you walk out of the room, you'd be recommitted to identifying maybe 5, maybe not more than 10. We really don't want folks populating their dashboards with more than 10 key measurements. That makes sense? So let's dig into it. And by the way, at the end, we're going to highlight through Casey, again, continuing to build on the social media theme that is tangent to a lot of the Growth Club work, some measurement techniques for social media. So that'll be great to see. You ready? Off we go. All right, so this is just a reminder of where KPIs, key performance measurements, sort of end up in the Growth Club methodology. And the Growth Club methodology starts with what we call mastery, and it really is about the fundamentals of the business. We talk about money mastery, we talk about destination mastery, or the goals that you've set for yourself. We talk about self-mastery, which is that thing that we then call time management, but it's not really time management, it is in fact self-mastery, right? And then we talk about delivery mastery. It's your ability to fulfill your promise to the marketplace every day. Because in fact you do it. The minute you hang up that shingle, you've implied a promise to the marketplace. Is that right? So you'd really like to be able to measure, right? Are you fulfilling that promise? So that's where we are. We're in mastery, the first place, and this is where we really want to identify what are the numbers that we have to have as thermometers in my business, in your business. That's where we are. So the agenda for today is we're going to talk about what are key performance indicators, literally, what are they? What is their intention? We'll talk about why are KPIs important. We'll cover how to implement KPIs and we'll give you some sample KPI measurements toward the end, right? So you can say, oh, well, that's how I might want to measure this in my business. And you can go back to your business, and I'm going to send much of this in email form to Casey or to Pam, and they can distribute it to the attendees. So you don't have to be too frantic with your note-taking. Okay? Does that sound right? All right, what are key performance indicators? Right? Well, they're quantifiable to begin with. They are numeric, right? Degrees, values, comparisons, measurements that reflect critical success factors in your business. Now, there might be in some businesses some measurements you're looking at, right? But they may not be critical. Right? Don't get bogged down with those. How many of you are getting financials on your business? Right? Running certain ratios for your business? Okay, super. Right? What are some other measurements that you're doing in your business? Just throw them out.
Return on equity.
Yep, good.
We do lead to sales ratio.
Lead to sales, conversion rate. You've heard the Growth Club talk about conversion rate a lot. Yeah. How about average number of transactions per customer?
Average ticket.
Average ticket, absolutely. Good, excellent. I mean, these are some measurements that go beyond your financials. Because if you're like many, particularly small business owners, the books aren't getting closed for probably 30 days after the month passes. And then it might be 2 weeks before you get a chance to look at them. And so that's already, what, now 25 miles behind in the rearview mirror. So the KPIs, though, are measurements that you want to be able to get at quickly. Right? Okay. Small print. These are key drivers that have a major impact on the business. It's a repeat of the up above, but key drivers of your business. So one that we like to do, particularly with manufacturing operations, with project-based companies, this might sound a little complicated. It's actually not too difficult to get to, but gross margin per direct labor hour applied. That is the driver in some of these businesses, and we really want to understand that, right? And then we look at that and we determine, well, is there enough there to cover overhead? Can we actually make money? Give the owner, it's something that you give the owner at a glance view of the business. Lots of us will avoid looking at the financials because it's 3 pages of line items. I'm working with a client right now whose balance sheet alone is 3 pages long. More line items there than needed, right? It's too complicated. Can't get a pulse on the business. You want to be able to identify hot spots that need attention and act quickly to drive business progress. Why KPIs? Hey, owners are extremely busy and can be distracted with the day-to-day. They've got to be able to take a very quick look. Right? How many of you folks here or know business owners that would actually set aside 2 or 3 hours just to review their numbers? Not too many. It's got to be quick and it's got to be summarized. Pouring through financials can be time-consuming and mind-numbing. We know lots of business owners that get the reports, get the closings from their CPAs or their accountants, and it goes quickly from their hands into a drawer, never to be looked at, because it can be mind-numbing. Right? Owners must make important decisions quickly and often with limited information in hand. So if we identify the 5 or 6, maybe 7 key performance indicators, they can look at them quickly and say, yes, no, correction needed. And wouldn't that be a good day? There we go. And owners can be preoccupied with tactical decisions and can miss the big strategic ones that the key performance indicators can be measured.
Can you define that, the tactical and the strategic?
Don't push button. So the strategic would be those actions that we're going to take that take into account the outside world, the marketplace, and competition, right? And our own enablers and inhibitors inside the organization, which we have. There are some things which we are good at, and there's some things which we may not be good at, and those often don't get highlighted unless we incorporate what's going on in the outside world, what's going on in our marketplace. And the outside world has really changed in the last 3 years or 4 years, hasn't it? If we've not adjusted, yeah, a little bit. If we've not adjusted to that strategically, identifying, and I really like to use, I guess, hopefully these are simple words, enablers, things that we're good at already that we may want to strengthen. Inhibitors, things that get in our way, right? these